The Kansas City Chiefs defeated the Philadelphia Eagles 38-35 in probably one of the best Super Bowls of all time and a very entertaining game. The Chiefs' offense was amazing this game. They had a really well-balanced offense. Patrick Mahomes having 3 touchdowns, 182 yards, while injured, by the way, and having a great completion percentage. Isaiah Pacheco running the ball fantastically. He was a beast all game, getting big-time yards, really just pounding the ball. Really in the first, I'm pretty sure in the first half, they gave him like 6 carries and he ran for 44 yards. He was a beast. He was really going off. They gave him not too many carries, but they really should have given him the ball, but it's fine. They won the game. Patrick Mahomes even getting a couple carries himself for 44 yards. Jared McKinnon getting himself 4 touches on 34 yards. But Isaiah Pacheco was really leading the running game. Travis Kelce being a beast, having a touchdown himself with 81 yards. Juju Smith-Schuster having his game. And, yeah, that was 2 of them key components. Mahomes, Juju Smith-Schuster, Kelce, and Isaiah Pacheco. Those 2 were the best players of the game. Defensively, the Chiefs didn't play that good. I mean, they weren't really great. They were kind of getting exposed all day, especially the defensive backs. The Eagles, offensively, were doing good themselves. Jalen Hurts had 304 yards, passing only 1 touchdown, but 3 touchdowns running the ball with 70 yards. They couldn't really stop him getting out the pocket. Jalen Hurts was probably him and Mahomes. It's either or. I'd say he was probably a little bit better as a quarterback, especially his throws were really good. But I'd say his receivers had bigger games that day, especially Devontae Smith going over 100 yards. A.J. Brown nearly 100 yards, just 4 yards shy and having a touchdown. Dallas Goedert having big-time catches and just really having clutch catches for like 3rd downs and really moving the chains. Their defense did not get a single sack, even though they were one of the best pressured and had a great defensive lineman, especially Hassan Riddick, who was not there this game. Really disappointing. Their defensive backs couldn't stop the Chiefs at all, and Mahomes was I won't say running all game, but he was getting out of the pocket with ease, especially from a bum leg that he had in the second quarter. His defense really got exposed this game, and we have to talk about the elephant in the room, the holding call. Now, was it a holding call? Fuck no. It was not a holding call at all. He barely grabbed him. He just grabbed him by a little bit. Nothing at all. It should not have been a holding call. But was this a rigged game, or was it fixed, or no? I do not believe it was. Because thing is, the Eagles had many chances to win this game. They were up by 10 points and blew it defensively. Their defense couldn't hold up, and their offense got stopped by a second, and their defense didn't do shit all game. If you could say, if the Eagles' offense, they scored 35 points. I think their offense did enough as they could. They averaged 30 points the whole playoffs, okay? And the offenses they did face weren't that good. They were not. The Giants, who offense were not that good. It was pretty much Saquon, and that was it. That's pretty much their offense. Just run the ball and bootleg options with Daniel Jones. And the Niners didn't even have their quarterbacks, so they couldn't really face good offenses to test themselves. And against Kansas City Chiefs, they really showed it. Their offense was amazing, although Miles Sanders did not play that well, and Boston Scott or Kenneth Gainwell, they had no running game besides Jalen Hurts, which is a problem. They probably should have given more touches, but they weren't doing good with their touches. The only running back that was doing good was Jalen Hurts, who's a quarterback. Your quarterback should not be your best running back at all, or your rusher at all. That were not called on them at all. So we could look at officiating was bad both ways. It just affected the Eagles in that scenario, which really sucks because they could have possibly won that game. But again, officials are bad either way. No matter what, of course, it would affect him if it didn't call. Yes, and without a doubt, they probably could have won the game. But the truth of the matter is they did call what they did call, and they did lose. So if you really want to blame on it, don't blame the officials. Blame the defense for really not stepping up when it really mattered, especially with Mahomes, who wasn't even 100%. Damn near, I'd say he's probably 50%. And I don't know what he used. He probably used some mad painkillers to help him get through it, and he won the game. And this solidifies Mahomes as one of the greatest quarterbacks and definitely a first ballot Hall of Famer right now in 5 years. In 5 years, this man has 2 MVPs, 2 Super Bowl wins, and 2 Super Bowl MVPs. And he's the best player in the game right now. He's a superstar. And it's not like with Eli Manning where he won 2 Super Bowl MVPs, but he wasn't the best player consistently throughout. And besides the Super Bowls he played, but Mahomes has been consistently the best player. First started his game, he has been the best player throughout, and it's just incredible to see. You could say, "Oh, he has great talent." Every great quarterback has great talent, no matter what. He has shown that he's been the best with this talent. Any average quarterback cannot do what he does, and most elite quarterbacks cannot get the same outcomes with better talent. He's probably one of the best offensive talents. You could say that, but he doesn't have great defensive talents. Besides great pass rushers, his defensive backs are not good. And most great or one of the great quarterbacks have great defensive talent to go on top of great offensive talent. They have a well-balanced team. Despite Mahomes, he and the offense have been carrying the show for a while now. Not saying that they're the reason why they've won, but they are main part of it. Give this man another 5 years from now, and if he's fully healthy and nothing drastic happens, this man will most likely be the greatest of all time. Without a doubt, he is clearly above his competition on quarterbacks-wise and other positional players. He is the best. His teams are consistently the best, and they will continue to be the best for as long as he's there. To talk about the Eagles, their window is not closed at all, although they are losing their offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator right now. So they do kind of need to, not rebuild, but kind of fix upon their losses this season. They do have a couple free agents they need to re-sign, and they're going to have to pay Jalen Hurts soon, which he's not a first-round pick, so they can't pick up his fifth-year option because it's not allowed. Now, I think this team will be contenders for the foreseeable future because the NFC is pretty open. There's not a lot of contenders right now, especially since most teams are rebuilding or tanking as of especially the NFC North, South, and the NFC North they have teams that are really not that good. The Vikings aren't that good. They're really a 9-8 team who stumbled into a 13-4 record, and the Packers are on the brink of rebuilding. The Lions are on the come up. And if we look at the NFC West, the Seahawks are on the come up. The Cardinals are rebuilding they're rebuilding at this point. And the Rams they have old veterans, so they're probably going to be in the playoffs, but they have no really worriedness about them. The San Francisco 49ers will be the contenders of the foreseeable future. That team in your division is where it's kind of scary because you have the Cowboys who are contenders, the Giants who are most likely going to be playoff contenders for the next foreseeable future. And if the Washington Commanders get their shit together, they'll be contenders too. So the division is the more scary part. Other than the whole NFC, they're pretty much wide open as we can see it. And the Cowboys never make it to the NFC Championship anyway, so they'll be fine. Now, getting onto the AFC is what they have to look at. They have to look at the other conference and how they're doing. But other than that, if they can beat the NFC, which is wide open at this point because most teams are rebuilding, they can most likely win a Super Bowl. The NFC is wide open. I think the Eagles have a bright future. They shouldn't hold their heads down from this game. Besides the defense, they do need to be better. But they were one of the best defenses in the league, and this is the best offense. So what can you do more? They don't really need to improve. They just need to just keep being a team, keep getting better, keep getting stronger. That's more they need to do. This was the best year for this franchise under Nick Sirianni. I think they'll most likely improve and will in the future. Let's see, we don't know. They'll win the Super Bowl in the future. They have until 5 years down the line to really lose their contender spot on the NFC, depending if teams get better or not. So they have to next year, I'd say to the next 3 years for their championship window until that thing is closed eventually. But most teams, but only the San Francisco 49ers have that window wide open, and they have really only a year or two until that window is completely shut down. So yeah, the Eagles have a bright future. Kansas City Chiefs, their future is bright because they have young players too. Their defense is very young. The defensive backs, the reason why they weren't that good is because they're young. Just imagine if those players improve. They're looking very scary. Isaiah Pacheco is a rookie. He's a beast right now. It's just crazy what the Chiefs have. They have some veterans, and they have younger pieces, more younger pieces than they do veterans. And they just won a Super Bowl, so they look scary. Anywho, like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.